So this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the spare nickel samurai costume to the hotel was because of this. What is this? On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a press conference. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was going to confess something to at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Angard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. I believe I do have a thing for that.
Objection!
That is hearsay. Our client has not testified as such. That is just something we heard outside of court. But how can that be? The way I see it, that can only mean one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Corridor himself. The victim? Yes. The spare nickel samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Corridor was going to hold the press conference as the nickel samurai. He was going to dress up as the nickel samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know yet. What I am concerned with what I'm concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference. He was going to confess something, and by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Corridor, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Miss Matt Angard. Yes, I guess that is what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's a public disclosure. I can see why you're pros at what you do. Pardon me? Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan. Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this. I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me. You? Juan had bet everything on the Jamming Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going to go down with him. He was going to ruin him, huh? It looked like somehow Juan had his hands on a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. What? She got those 90s jeans with the flares? Yeah, love it, honestly. Like, that sort of like wide shot from behind is the only time you get to see like a person's full outfit. And what do you know? And do you know what the secret of Mr. Angard's is, Miss Andrews? That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is. I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone, but that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt after all. Lizzie McGuire's mum. Oh my god, that takes me back. And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Mr. Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior. Protecting Matt. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what, and he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife, but I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him. This does account for everything. Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She is more nervous than a scared rabbit. If the defense can find no fault with this testimony, I'm ready to make a ruling. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine. Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. No, don't load. No, save. Cheers. Okay. I'm going to skip through this and see what they say at the end. As I expected, Mr. Andrews' testimony is pretty solid. Really? Because to me, it sounded a little wishy-washy. Wishy-washy? Well, I guess we'll see if I press him a little more. You should know this by now, but you'll need strong, decisive evidence to make good talk. Got it, Chief? Okay. Would you say that your intuition was speaking to that? Oh yeah. What was that intuition? Gonna see if I can just like cliff note the dialogue for a bit. So don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. If you want to prove I did something, you need 3 things. And what are those 3 things? You need a motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and something else. If you think they're enough, the answer becomes clear. I should have already known that. They didn't teach us that in school, or at least not from what I remember. May I continue now? Matt had no reason. Matt had a reason to kill Juan. So would you say this need came from the press conference? Yes. Do you know why Juan had chose that event and had that hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could damage... What? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt and Guard. And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews? Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume. But I'm sure Mr. Ungard himself didn't know anything about the press conference. That's what I was gonna say. Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference? You actual... Oh, you sneaky bastard. Okay. Okay, please correct your testimony. I don't know what his motive was, but I don't have any way to prove that I'm right. So has Mr. Ungard done anything to betray you or hurt you personally? Why do you ask? Yeah, she doesn't look nervous, but that's what she's good at. She has this whole facade going on. You were the one who helped Mr. Corridor with his press conference, and that event was supposed to bring down Mr. Ungard, yet you still helped out. The person on trial right now is Mr. Ungard, right? What the witness was thinking, helping with the plan, is none of our concern. In any case, that means the defendant had a motive to kill. Not if you didn't know about the conference. But didn't you already testify earlier that Mr. Ungard was taking a nap in his room? Are you telling me now that that too was a lie so you can cover for Mr. Ungard? I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him for this show, he was honestly sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time. I keep trying, but I can find no flaws with what Miss Andrews has said. I can't say the same for some people here in the courtroom. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course. The button and the knife. Apparently her alibi was helping set up the show. Do we have any proof of it? No, but of course we're not gonna worry ourselves about the, proof of the witness. You could hardly call that decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage. Then what about the button? So surely she would have been seen. If it We're trying to purport that like this person is Miss Andrews walking out of the room after the time of murder. We just need to prove it's her. The button, it's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought, and during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the Jammin' Ninja's costume. You're talking about this button, correct? That button was found in the pleats of Matt's hakama, isn't that correct? You're kind of right there, though I do wonder if the muscle and neck is part of the costume itself. It must be, yeah, because the mask and I think the body is silver. It's kind of hard to tell here. But like, I think everything up to the mask itself is covered in the blue top. So it could very well be her still. Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. You fixed your testimony. Well, honestly, the way the picture's drawn It's probably meant to throw us off. The only clue we have is the fact that the hakama, the trousers, are way too big for her or for whoever the person is in there. How do you know that? When the ends of the threads on the button and the costume were matched up, they were found to fit perfectly together perfectly. That's what I heard. But why would Miss Andrews know about this case down to such a fine detail? Don't look at me like that. Just because I'm prepared and you're not. And I thought I had that this time for sure. If there's anything to trip her up on, it has to be here. But where and what? Well, what you really did was stab the guy in the back, didn't you? And at the worst possible time. Who's to say she really stabbed the guy in the back, as you put it? This witness could have disclosed things about Mr. Ungard at any time. Why then would she wait until there was a large audience before doing so? It's the same reason why Mr. Corridor planned such an elaborate conference. Mr. Andrews wanted to cause Mr. Ungard as much damage as she possibly could. This witness bears ill will towards the defendant. This isn't the Phoenix Wright Wax Philosophical Power Hour. Please stop slandering the witness. As I expected, Miss Andrews' testimony seems pretty solid. Really? Oh yeah, okay. Not so much a replica costume, more so than it is a spare one. Oh no, the outfit that he is wearing is a different outfit entirely. So there's only one set of his outfit. The victim's outfit is its own separate, unique outfit, and you know there would only be one set of 4 buttons. I feel like this is where I need to be looking at, but what? Damn it. Ugh. I forgot to save after pressing every statement. So I gotta press every statement again, just so the game can record the fact that I've pressed statements. Because sometimes the triggers for me to continue are a bit weird. I have to do certain things in order to continue sometimes. Sometimes it's not all about like presenting the right evidence or the right statement. It's about just pressing certain statements and then the game will continue somehow. So I just want to get all that cleared because I reloaded the game. Okay, and lastly, save here. How do you know that? When the end of the Why would Miss Andrews know about this case down to such a fine detail? Don't look at me like that, just because I'm prepared and you are not. And I thought I had her for this time, sure. I thought I had her for this. I can't talk. I thought I had her this time for sure. And if there's anything to trip her up on, it has to be here. But where and what? But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him. Not sure what to do here, honestly, not gonna lie. I'm just looking for the music to stop, then I know I'm correct. The button was torn off Juan during his fight with Matt. Okay, I'm for real stuck. I'm for real stuck. Okay. All right, let's look over the evidence. So we've got a picture of Nickel Samurai. We kind of know what it looks like by now. Press conference ticket. Seems like the Nickel Samurai is to confess something after the post-ceremony stage show. Radio transceiver, originally from Maya's kidnapper, who goes by the name The Killer. Lotta's camera, stolen on the night of the murder. Tabloid article was about the victim in the case. The person who stole it from Lotta was this lady. An article from the tabloid Gossip Land. That's news, that's old news, that's public news now, so. Guitar case is empty, there is some water, but only on the top of the lid. Bears corridor's fingerprints found next to the victim. It's filled with tomato juice. What are we missing here? One of the buttons are indeed missing. I feel like there's something with the... Because he wasn't stabbed, he was strangled to death. Was he even murdered? Was he even murdered? I don't think he was murdered. I could be going, again, crack theory, but I don't think he was murdered. It's possible he killed himself. We already established last stream. You think he hung and stabbed himself? It was established that he was strangled, and the knife was put in. He died. Where is it? He was strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife, and the knife was put in after he died to throw us off. I feel like maybe he hung himself and someone else made it look like a murder. Because the room looks like a fight took place, but we've learned that fight couldn't have taken place, because the mess we see is because of Andrews, because she allegedly knocked the vase over. That still doesn't explain why he was propped up. A murder would be in a defensive position, not sat down. I suppose so. Again, just a crack theory. Actually, that might be the clue I need. Maybe not. Okay. Okay, so my reasoning there was that basically, you said it doesn't explain why it's propped up. I'm like, that is a weird position to die in, if there was indeed a fight. Which makes me wonder if he was propped there, like that on purpose. Is this the in Twitch chat sort of tea, or the in private DMs sort of tea? Which one? Oh, the body had to have been moved. Yeah, the body had to have been moved. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. But I don't know what I'm trying to prove. Like, I look like with this statement, this testimony, I'm not entirely sure what I'm trying to prove. Can I prove that the button was not torn off during the fight? Sick. Wait. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Okay. Man, I wish Nabil was in chat. He'd help me get through this. Hey Emblem, welcome back to the stream. How you doing? How's your weekend? Okay. I don't know what his motive was, but I know what his motive is, Rob. I know what his motive was, but I don't have any way to prove him right. I'm gonna go here. I'm doing pretty good myself as well, actually, except for the fact that I'm completely stuck on this line of questioning in the game. But otherwise, yeah, no, my weekend has been rather wild, actually. A little interesting. My housemate last night, he had like a terrible nightmare. I've never seen anything like it. Like, I'm laying down. He's like in the room next to mine, and I'm laying down, and I'm like, it's like 2 a.m. and like I'm hearing like heavy breathing, and I'm like, oh, is he shagging someone? If so, good on you, pal. But then it gets like loud, the breathing, like the rhythmic breathing, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's loud, it's cool. And then like eventually I start to hear like a no, don't, please don't, no, please don't. And that's getting louder and more intense and more like desperate. And I'm like, that's not okay at all. So like I literally leap out of bed and go into his room. Luckily his room was like open and not locked. And he's like panicking, like from having a nightmare. He's awake and he's like shaking in bed, like up and down. And his eyes are open, but he doesn't realize that he's in the real world. He doesn't realize he's awake. He's still in this nightmare. And I had to like calm him down. It was like frightening to look at. And like for a solid like hour or two, he had to like ground himself back into like the awake world, the world of the awake. Like he went around the house, sort of like went into every single room to sort of ground himself, and he wanted to know like what happened. He didn't know what happened. He was still feeling the effects of the nightmare. It was so bad. It was terrible. So he spent like an hour sorting him out. But he's fine now. Got some water and some food in him as well, and as well as we made him watch some TV as well, like to sort of like ease him back into the real world. It was really terrifying. So I didn't get much. So because of that, I didn't really get much sleep. To be fair, I had to look after him. But other than that, like that's pretty much the only like thing of note that happened during my weekend. That and streams, pretty much. I'm like this close to looking at a walkthrough. I'm this close to looking at a guide because this is a wall. This is an actual wall, and I don't know. Wait, hold on. No, it wouldn't be that. He didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. Can I prove that the button was not torn off during the fight with Matt? Can I prove that there was even a fight? Can I prove that there wasn't even a fight? This was ripped from the costume. Sure. That much is true. But was it during a fight? That's plausible, Danny. I just have to find a way to link that. Because the stabbing was post-mortem. Yeah. If the game would let me, if the game could let me like go down that line of reasoning, I don't think it's gonna let me. I'm looking at a guide. I can't do this. I actually can't do this. I'm very good. I'm very good at blinding myself to spoilers, though. To be fair, so I thought I could do it. I thought I could do the entire trilogy without resorting to a guide, but this is no. I can't. All right, so let's fuck up my vision for a bit and find what I need. Oh wait, this is not a guide at all. This is just a wiki page. All right, spoiler-free guides. Found it. I didn't see anything else. I managed to actually find it immediately. And I've forgotten it. I've closed the tab and I've forgotten it. It's on this. And it was... this. No. Not that. Hello, Triple Death Star. Welcome to the stream. How's your weekend been? So it was this, and yeah, it was this. Also, I was completely wrong. So there was two things I saw when I looked at the guide, because I like blurred my vision and only looked at what I needed to, and I saw this. That's all I looked at. But there was also something else I looked at. I am not anywhere near close to finishing this game. I just found out. There's a whole other day of investigation to do, and then a whole other another trial. His death was strangulation by scarf. The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died. What does that mean? Let's examine the evidence. This button has the blood's victim on it, which would mean it was ripped off the costume. When? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly, which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. I think, Danielle, I think you hit it like what's the word I'm looking for? You hit the nail on the head, basically. There's no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off of the victim's already dead body. Order, what is the meaning? What is the meaning of this, Wright? Sherlock of the Tata. So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We now know that this button was not torn off during the fight, so the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer has something in mind, wouldn't it? Mr. Wright, does this mean... Does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it? To pin the criminal on guard, obviously. There was only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. Engard. There's no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. Engard was set up by the real killer, of course. And the real murderer is? Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then? Finally, I can't believe I managed to bring the trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet, not until the very end. The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. Engard, is... Adrian Andrews, I choose you. You are Mr. Corridor's killer. Is this C minor Dorian mode and then E minor? I'm not sure. Huh. Like how it was just like, I choose you. This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? That is such a weird way to accuse someone. Wait until we play Danganronpa. That is all about weird ways to accuse people. Would you care to test me? What about the button that was found in Matt's Hakama? This button was already moved after the victim's body after he died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. Engard was the real killer, there was no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. The only person who could have put this button into Mr. Engard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him up from his nap, which again is you, Miss Andrews. I see. What about the empty guitar case? That is another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And she testified that it was herself. Oh no, Diddums! No, look at her. But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case, and it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time. Ooh. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. And to top it all off, there is this photo. Hey Dre Sang, welcome to the stream. I know you're lurking, don't worry about it. Though, if you want to, I think I do have a command for lurking, which I believe is just... So let's pretend I'm lurking. I think it's just command, like, exclamation mark lurk. Nope, there is none like that. Oh, there is. Yeah, like that. And to top it all off, there is this photo. Phoenix Wright is going in. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on earth can believe this nickel is that this nickel samurai is Mr. Engard. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not? Please stop. Oh, I could keep going. Man spitting bars. Oof. So how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time. Andrews? I refuse to testify. What was that? There is a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. Can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. Is that an actual law? Is that real? That sounds very Deus Ex Machina. Oh, apparently I'm dropping frames. Oh, apparently I'm dropping a lot of frames. Oh, all of the frames are being dropped, and I don't know why. It's literally been fine the entire time. It shouldn't be my CPU usage. Though I think it's fixed now. Should be. I'm just staring at the OBS like thing just to make sure it's fine. But seems to be good. Cool, awesome. Right, what's chat saying? Oh yeah, plead the fifth. Okay, yeah, that's the thing. But at least in the States, but it's a dumb thing to do because it's basically admitting guilt. Depends on the circumstances. Other times saying nothing is better. Even in the UK, they can't do anything to force you to speak. But maybe they'll charge you with contempt of court. Because you can be innocent to tell the truth. Because you can be innocent, tell the truth, and they find a way to twist your words. My stream was like, Triple D, are you a professional criminal or lawyer? Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that my bit rate was fucking up earlier, but yeah, we're still good to go. Oh, sir, are you okay? Sick. All right. You're absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves. Phoenix Wright, the lawyer, did not know that. Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Oh, a motive? Did you want to kill Mr. Corridor? I believe this may lead me to incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering. If you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? Maybe so, or maybe not. There's nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. Mia, what should we do? Somehow, we've landed in the worst possible situation. Oh, no, here we go. Court is adjourned. It's not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof. In this situation, there's only one thing this court can do, and that is to declare a recess. We can't afford a recess. We have not proven beyond a reasonable doubt. If you don't get it. What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't she? That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya. But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is... It is not impossible for this trial to continue. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you... It's true Mr. Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination, however. If the topic of conversation were something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yes, that is very true, but actually there is one little thing I'm curious about. Miss Andrews, when you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and? I did it because Von Karma told me to. Still tier 3 subbing for Von Karma, are we, Solidus? Usually when one finds a body, they are shaking up, not stirring a glass of juice. Ha! Shaken, not stirred. That was a good line. So my actions were unusual, but before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect. Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good enough read of him. Is he a friend or foe? I just don't know. He was foe up until like the last case in the first game. Where even he was like, hold on, my witness is actually talking shit. like my witness is bullshitting like the entire court. Like, I'm gonna step in and call him out for your bullshit. Oh. That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state, and Juan, who was sitting slumped over and tired, looking over in a corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't even cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. Then I realized that he was dead. That's when I knocked the flower vase over. That is a completely different fucking story from what you said before. Also, are you going to sit there and tell me to my face with your full chest that you saw this and thought he was taking a nap?